Kubernetes dashboard can be used to deploy containerized applications to Kubernetes cluster, troubleshoot your containerized application, and manage cluster resources. In this video, we will cover using kube control proxy, using kube control port forwarding, using ingress control, dashboard demo using node port, Kubernetes dashboard official documentation. You can also check out a previous video on Kubernetes dashboard to understand basics. In the end, we will also share details about a free Kubernetes masterclass, which will not only help you understand basics, but it will also give you an idea of the learning path to follow. It would be helpful, especially when you're preparing for Kubernetes certification. That's Certified Kubernetes Administrator CKA or Certified Kubernetes Security Specialist. That's CKS. Welcome to another episode of Docker and Kubernetes video series from K21 Academy. We have taken a clip from one of our certification training program on Kubernetes Security Specialist. That's CKS, and in this clip, our expert will talk about Kubernetes dashboard. So this is a clip taken from a module on dashboard, network policy, ingress control, secure metadata, and endpoints. Let's hear from our expert on the same.
So as I said earlier, there are different ways to access this dashboard, and one of them is kubectl proxy. So what happens is this is typically you have Kubernetes cluster with API server and the dashboard already deployed inside that Kubernetes cluster on one of the nodes as a pod, and you have kubectl. So what you're going to do in this case is you deploy kubectl proxy in front of kubectl and you access it from the same machine on which your kubectl is running. So what happens? It creates a proxy between the local host where kubectl is installed and the Kubernetes API server. So you're going to access it with this URL HTTP and whatever is the local host, and you're accessing it only from the machine where kubectl is installed. So you'll go for URL kubectl HTTPS localhost 8001 API v namespaces, all this URL till here proxy. So you go there and that will forward request over HTTP onto the kubectl, and kubectl will then in turn securely connect to the API server. So it creates a proxy between the local host on which your kubectl is running and the API server. As I said, it's only accessible from the kubectl host. Then now this configuration uses the configuration of API server installed inside the kubectl, and API server will then in turn forward that request as a proxy. So the URL is this. The other method of accessing is kubectl port forward. So in this particular case, you can access it not just HTTP or HTTPS, but also on TCP port number or TCP protocol. So it's typically, as a name suggests, port forward. You're accessing this URL again, same thing limited from kubectl host only. You're typing TCP localhost on whatever port number you have configured for port forwarding. That will forward request to kubectl API server, and then API server in turn forwarding it to the dashboard port. So it's forwarding whatever request it's receiving on 8080 port number, API server in turn will forward it to kubectl port forward. So this way, whatever access this kubectl it's in turn using the kubectl method to access, but over the browser. So that's kubectl port forward. Now, if you are exposing it to the external, ingress is another method you might have done when you're working on your administrator certification. You must have deployed the applications on top of the Kubernetes cluster so that applications are exposed to the external through a ingress controller, which is a layer 7 load balancer URL. Again, if you're not clear with these ingress controller or the basic concepts, again, contact to support so we can give you some help on basics of ingress controller. So what happens in this case, dashboard is exposed externally without the help of kubectl. So you're not interfacing with kubectl, you are using ingress controller, and ingress controller in turn is forwarding to the pod. But make sure you use RBAC control. So as I said earlier, the pod will be connecting to the Kubernetes cluster to extract all the information into that GUI tool using a service account, that service account should have necessary privileges, or you only give access on the required privileges. If you're using Ingress, make sure that you also configure LDAP authentication in um, Kubernetes cluster. So this is important. Now, for the demo part, we are using Nodeport. So as you know, this dashboard is deployed or will be deployed as a pod inside the Kubernetes cluster. And like any other application, you can expose the dashboard through a service, which anyway you're going to typically do with that. And in that service, even in Nginx controller as well, you're connecting to through that service, and or Nginx Ingress will connect to the service. So that particular thing, in order to show you how does it look like or how does dashboard look like, for the demo part, we are exposing as a node port. So in deployment, we're going to deploy the dashboard as a pod with listening on this container will listen on a port. That container will be exposed through a service, or this pod will be exposed through a service, and that service will be listening on a node and will be accessing it through the node IP. So we are going to deploy in the one of the previous lessons, we'll deploy the Kubernetes cluster on a cloud host. We are going to connect to the public IP of that host onto through this port number. That node port will forward request to the service. That service in turn will forward it to the dashboard, and that's what we are going to do. So as a part of the deployment, which we are going to cover in the next lesson, you're going to deploy or configure a deployment. In that deployment, you will have a application or container inside a pod, which will be deployed through this image Kubernetes dashboard version 2.1. I'm recording this in late 2020, early 2021. So you should be getting this Kubernetes dashboard version 2.1.0. How to get this dashboard, we'll see in the next lesson. So this pod, and then this will also configure a service, and that service will be of type node port. If we see here, we'll change that to node port, and then we'll expose this and we'll access it. Now, head on to the next lesson where we look at the lab, or we'll show you how to perform this dashboard. So there'll be a step-by-step activity guide as well as followed with a video to show you how to configure this dashboard or deploy this dashboard and access it via the node port of the public IP of the machine. And just to the place where you're watching this video, I'll share some links as well that will help you to understand, that will give you some idea about dashboard as I was talking about. So this is a Kubernetes documentation, worth looking at this documentation on Kubernetes dashboard. How does it look like? And as I said earlier, if you want to do kube proxy, this is the URL you can use for kube proxy. Now, in order for you to deploy the Kubernetes cluster, you'll be using this kubectl apply this. This is the YAML file which CNCF have given. So we'll use this CNCF YAML file, and this is where you will be checking or creating some service accounts, deployments, all those configuration, all this, and then most important is this deployment I was talking earlier.
So, that was a clip taken from one of the lessons from a step-by-step training program on Kubernetes Security Specialist. We have put down everything about the certification, including some of the basic concepts that one should be knowing for CKS certification, from bootstrapping Kubernetes cluster using kubeadm, cluster setup, cluster hardening, minimizing vulnerabilities, securing supply chain, logging to system hardening in this 7-week roadmap, where we take you from basics like installation and configuration to CKS expert, along with tips and resources for clearing the certification exam. We also have CV preparation and on-job support. So if you want to become certified Kubernetes security specialist and want to learn right from basics to an expert level, then we have a comprehensive step-by-step training program for you. That includes 7 modules, 35 lessons, 30 hands-on labs, including exam preparation, and the most important part, 1 year on-job support. If you're interested in this program, then I would highly recommend you to attend our free class, which covers right from why you should learn Kubernetes to CKS training program. We also include topics like security in Kubernetes, the 4 C's of security, security lifecycle, and Kubernetes certifications. Then we will also talk about CKS exam topics and sample questions. So if you are interested or just starting out, then I highly recommend you to attend this free class by visiting k21academy.com/Kubernetes SEC02. Just enter your name and email address so you can attend this free class. Here you can see the excellent feedbacks we receive on our sessions. Now, if you like this video on Certified Kubernetes Security Specialist and if you think it will help others, then please share it with your friends and colleagues. If you're watching this on YouTube or any other social channel, then please like and subscribe so that you don't miss out on our upcoming video. See you in our next video. Till then, take care.